Welcome to the Cahill kennels here in Keston in Kent on this not so lovely summer's day. The reigning Derby champion Astute Missile lives just down that lane behind me. I've come to catch up with Seamus and Teresa 3.5 weeks on from that Derby victory to find out if it's all sunk in.
Astute Missile gets inside and goes on. It's Astute Missile, but Tyra Shea is coming at it as they come off the final bend. Astute Missile staying strong will go and win the Star Sports Greyhound Derby final for 2017, beating Tyra Shea in second place. Landing the spoils was Astute Missile for Seamus Cahill.
Yeah, it's a good feel. It's been, fairly similar pattern to always, but we've won the Derby and it's a terrific feeling really. It's great for the staff and the owners and but we have plenty to look forward to as well.
Talk us through you watching the race, how you saw it, what you thought was going to happen when you realised you'd won it.
Watching the race, I watched it at the first bend, and Astute Missile was in a lovely position around the bend, so I thought he'd be second in the Derby then, and I was quite pleased with myself even at that stage and that. But then when I saw him run the third bend, I thought he might win the Derby, and that's how it panned out.
And what an emotional time it was for you, with everything that had happened before, during, and since, in fact.
Yeah, it was, I suppose, in the sense that we had Bridget's death some weeks before that, and it was great for everybody, a great lift, I suppose, for my family and kids and that, and for everybody.
It's something to tick off your bucket list, isn't it? You know, that we've been there, we've won like Henlow Derby and some of the smaller derbies, but this is, you know, the ultimate. It is the English Greyhound Derby, you know. It'd be sending me to Ireland next year for the Irish one now. I suppose he's got this under his belt.
Of course, it's a long walk from those kennels to the track at Toaster, and you and I both covered a lot of miles, and we had some chats along the way, and you said throughout the whole competition that Bridget, Seamus's late daughter, was looking over you and you had an extra helping hand. And something happened. It was special that day for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, things wasn't just right run of the mill that day for a start. We only discussed coming home how Mickey normally goes in the Portamag because he's not quiet, and we only said, you know, well, we didn't do that, you know. He sort of must have knew it was sort of special that day as well. And the way he ran that third bend to go, you know, he made the gap. The gap wasn't really there. He was going through, and that was it. And Bridget always said that she was coming to Toaster on Derby night, you know. So I really do feel that she was there. And the rainbow and everything, you know. So
Well, talk to me about this rainbow, because as I was interviewing Seamus, you looked up at me and said, look, there's a rainbow, as if to say, well, of course there is, because she's here.
yeah, it was just... you know, it wasn't raining, not like today, you know. It was a lovely evening. We were all in bare shoulders and arms and whatever, you know. And then next thing, this rainbow appeared as we were all on the presentation. It just, you know, give everyone a few goosebumps.
And the ups and downs of greyhound racing are incredible. We say it all the time, but it's been demonstrated so much by Astute Missile winning the Derby, and now he's broken his hock, unfortunately. How bad is it?
I suppose, and as hocks go, it's a long way from being the worst hock break you'd have. It's not smashed, it's a clean break, and Stefano is very confident that he may race again, but you know, that's something for down the line.
You must have been devastated, because comparisons were made between him and Salad Dodger, but you would have hoped that Missile would have gone on to back it up with another competition win.
Yeah, it was a lot to look forward to. You know, you had Nottingham, you had everything was there for him really, because as well as that, I had thought I might step him up to the likes of Monmore 630 or something like that. I had that in my head, but you know, it's not going to happen now anyway, so we'll just have to go along.
You've had a bit of a run of injuries. We've just seen DROOPYS acrobat coming back from the vets as well, looking a little bit groggy. He's had stem cell treatment at Daniel Doherty's today. Yeah. What's the nature of his injury?
FCU tendon, which is the main tendon on the back of the stopper bone. 9 times out of 10 it's a retirement job, but I have known a few dogs to come back and that, and I haven't ever seen this stem cell treatment done. So I'm hoping it is a good job on that.
In greyhound racing, the more time you can give these injuries is a plus for the greyhound, you know. You know, you don't rush them back, you give them plenty of time, they heal, and then you will get your dogs back.
In the meantime, you've got plenty to look forward to, including a very cute litter of pups out the back there.
Yeah, Lughill Blake out of Ballymac they're 9 weeks, so we've actually sent another bitch to Lughill Blake, and we've got live animated as well, so we've got 3 litters, you know, 1 of them and 2 to look forward to. Last year we had 3 litters as well. We do quite a bit of British breeding.
Is it a side of the job that you like?
Yeah, I do. What's it name? Like people say, they can be time wasters because they're all well handled, cuddled, loved. You know, you never have a shy pup coming out of here.
What's the best dog you've got in the kennel at the moment? Injured dogs aside, the best racing dog?
480 Forrest Conran Daddy. He's a top class greyhound. He's just have trialled at Hove, and he's dipped under his own clock, I think, over 4.75, so he goes to Monmore for the Gold Cup, and I'm sure he'll run very, very well.
I just think with him and Bruiser's Bullet, they were the 2 younger dogs going, and the 3 runs in that week was maybe a bit too much for them. So like I said, the older dogs, the second season dogs, what you would call them, you know, maybe next year might be his turn at the Derby, Forest Con, because he's got the potential, and I think he's going to maybe go to Yarmouth after Monmore, you know, so nice dog.
You've got a bitch here today that you think a lot of that we've seen, BALLINAKIL BIDDY, who will head to the Lowther Stakes. She's a nervous sort, very small.
Yeah, she's always that way since we bought her, but she's a very talented bitch. Bought her through Jim O'Donnell, Graham Holland had her. She won her first race at Shilburton, I think at about 28.66 and that, but she has a few little ups and downs. She had a few hiccups, minor injuries and that, but we're hoping to get a clean run with her now. She done 29.50 at Towster last week in a trial, and I thought she'd run really well. So, yeah, I think we have 3 bitches going for the Lowther Stakes, and they're 3 good bitches.
How would you compare her ability-wise to the likes of Crosshill Molly?
She's probably has more raw pace than Crossfield Molly. I think if she gets trapping right, she's very hard to beat her.
Speaking of raw pace, DROOPYS Goals is another one of your greyhounds who sort of defied the odds on Derby final night. Finished second in the end to Calico Ranger after a brilliant run, and you think a lot of this dog.
Yeah, well, I thought he'd win in Towster. I was well pleased with the way he ran. Just he was a little bit short of preparation, I think, for Towster, which was my own fault. The hot weather and that upset my plans really a little bit, where I missed getting a run into him.
He's not been out of the first 2 in his last 9 races. Is this a dog that's going to win you next year's Derby?
I'm not saying he's going to win it, but, touch wood that he has a bit of luck on that, and I think he will be a very serious dog.
How do you feel about the Derby now? Do you feel like you've done it, or do you feel like you might win another one?
You always want to be winning, I suppose. Get greedy, maybe you win one and you want to win another. Yeah, certainly. It's competitions. You love to win the competitions. Let them be. I'd love to win the Henlow Derby, any derby. I like nothing better than competing against the best dogs and that. But you must have the material to do it.